Okay, guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Get to Know the Author. Y'all know I'm gonna act up a little bit, but don't be just alarmed. Don't be alarmed. So let's get into a bit about my book. How about we start with a couple of reasons why I chose to write my book. Well, being a survivor leader in the anti-human trafficking movement and being an inspiration to so many other people, I actually felt like it was better for me to be like, the proof is in the pudding. When I'm actually speaking and encouraging others through personal growth or professional development or even just public speaking in general, I don't want to be able to just say, you can do whatever you put your mind to, you can come out of negative circumstances and build a better life for yourself. But I actually want to be the proof. You know, I want to be the proof because God doesn't lie. And as well as I've been holding this testimony within me for a long time, writing it as I go through life. And I finally reached a point when God's like, it's time. And I'm like, well, it's been time for some years now. Maybe another year, God. But no, it's time. So I actually sprung into action on my own because I had a season where I waited for everybody else to try to help me and do it for me. And God was like, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. So, you know, I had to navigate through publishing my book, and I actually did. Hey, we're here, guys. Okay. So let's get into some other things. I want to say is, it's kind of rough talking about it sometimes, but I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there and let you guys get it. The repetitive cycle, something you will run across in my book is a repetitive cycle. And it'll come up in certain parts and certain sections whenever faced with certain challenges or triggered. And this thing is serious to me, you know? Because I was asked, like, don't you want to write it differently every time? No, I don't. Absolutely not. Why would I? Why would I? See, for me, it was like expressing going through a post-traumatic stress disorder and going through a severe anxiety disorder and experiencing these overwhelming emotions and feelings of fear and despair all the time. And it triggers an episode to go into shock, to go into a place where you're not yourself. And I wanted to stay true to that when it came to me. I wanted to stay true to that because I know that there is a lot of people that can relate. But these are a lot of the things we don't speak about. Is the emotional cycle that comes with trauma, that comes with abuse. What do you do with this emotional cycle? So I'm talking about, you know, what I'm going through so you can truly understand what God had stepped in and brought me through. Okay. All right, so another thing is the spiritual aspect within my book. One thing about it, two things for sure, there is nothing fictional like about the power of God. There is nothing fictional about the power of the Holy Spirit. There is nothing fictional about demonic entities and forces. Okay? We don't just wrestle against flesh, but you know what I mean, flesh and blood. We wrestle against principalities and high and low places. You know what I'm saying? We wrestle in the flesh and in the spirit. So I definitely wanted to give God his credit. I was asked once before, like, you know, maybe you should write your spiritual aspect in on the fictional side. Absolutely not. Huh? See, God ain't done with me yet, but I will never discredit him. Ever. Ever. So I felt like it was extremely important for me to express the power of God and to speak on the dark energy and the things that I was experiencing through spiritual sight and going throughout my life. See, if I didn't tell you, it would be mighty weird how I had the strength to make it to today in life. It wouldn't make sense to go through all of this stuff and still, what drove you, what powered behind you, what uplifted you, what encouraged you. The power of God, baby. I thought you knew. Y'all, let me stop cutting up. But it's the truth. So one time for the big G-O-D, one time for Jesus, and one time for the Holy Spirit. For, And, it's so crazy because those were some of the most exciting times when writing my book, because I'm getting into it and I'm talking about, how the enemy is showing up and how God's showing up, and God like, yeah, we did that. The Holy Spirit back there like, I'm like, yeah, boy, you showed up. And, 1, 2, you got me about it. Mind your business, okay? This is just how me and God cut up, okay? This is just how me and God and Jesus and them be cutting up, okay? Mind your business. So that was some of the parts where I realized, it was not me. It was the glory of God. Come on, somebody. But I definitely had to touch on that. And the thing about it is I had to tell the truth that I grew up in the Word. Like I said, I grew up in the Word. But I met Jesus in my darkest hour. I met God in my trials and tribulations. He had to come and pull me out of dark places that I couldn't even pull myself out of. So it was imperative that, I kept a G with God and go ahead and kept him in the script. All right, so what else? Is there anything else I want to share with you guys? Guys, I'm just really proud of myself, to be honest. I feel like I've unleashed something, if that makes sense. Because I have been holding it within me for so long, scared to bring it to life, scared to even publish it. I didn't want to hurt anybody or tarnish anybody's character or anything like that, because that's not the purpose of me telling my story. My story ain't about y'all. But if you did actually do something along the lines where I didn't tarnish your character, you tarnished it for yourself. Just remain quiet and no one will know it's you. But I really didn't know how to take the shame out and put it to the side and stand in my victory for a long time. And every time I tried to take it, I put it back on the shelf. I ain't ready for that. God, I ain't ready for that. And you know what? In the boldness, in the spirit, I feel like God moved and I followed. I jumped out there and was like, okay, God, I got you. I'm going to do what you told me to do. And I know that this testimony is real, it's raw, it's unfiltered. And it's going to touch those that it's supposed to touch. It's going to ignite a fire in the hearts and the souls and the spirit of those it's supposed to. Okay, I did not write this to hurt anybody, to put anyone down or anything like that. This is not I'm going to tell all of what everybody did to me. No. This definitely not that kind of story. But there was a lot done throughout my life that the power of God has claimed victory over me that I share within this amazing story. Okay, y'all. So, all right, so that's it as we get back into our short reads. Y'all go out there and get your copy of the book, Jersey the Burning Rose. You never know what the book could do for you, what the book could do for somebody who may be struggling to find the right path in their life, who may be struggling with neglect and abandonment, who may be struggling with some type of abuse and don't know how to pick up the pieces and don't believe that there's something after that in their life for them. Hand them that proof. Proof is in the pudding, baby. There you go, right there. Read this. She got you. I'm telling you, she can come back. You can come back. So in that, get your copy. And by getting your copy, you're actually support my nonprofit organization. And give back a little bit. You're giving back a little bit, okay? Well, that's it. Love you guys. Gotta go. Bye.